Hey everyone, Steve Kim here. So excited. Steve Kim Show episode number 240. The much anticipated May stats are in, and as usual, I got your numbers and your stats as they pertain to the detached and townhome markets for both Toronto and pockets of the GTA. So let's get right into the numbers. So the average Toronto detached property back of April 2023 was trading at $1.79 million. Fast forward into May, it jumped up to $1.91 million. In Richmond Hill, we saw a similar pattern. An average detached property in April was trading around $1.87 million. Fast forward into May, has jumped to now over $2.06 million. Markham, we saw a similar pattern of 1.88 in April up to 1.9 into May 2023 for detached properties. And in Vaughan, we went from 1.82 for an average detached property million in April up to 1.93 million into May. Months of inventory. Pay attention to this number because right across the board, it highlights and it indicates that we are still in a seller's market for detached properties. In Toronto, we went from 1.4 into April down to 1.3 into May. Richmond Hill, we went from 1.4 to 1.6 from April to May. In Markham, we went from 1.1 to 1.3. And in Vaughan, we stayed the same from 1.4 into April to 1.4 months of inventory into May for detached properties. Townhome markets. An average townhome property in Toronto back of April 2023 was trading $1.33 million. Fast forward into May, not much of a change, around $1.32 million. In Richmond Hill, we went from 1.29 million up to 1.36 million for a townhome from April to May. In Markham, we went from 1.3 million to 1.33 million. And in Vaughan, we went from 1.26 million to 1.25 million from April to May for townhome properties. Pay attention to this number of months of inventory, supply and demand. For Toronto townhomes, in April, we were hovering on 1.3 months of inventory. Into May, we're now 1 month of inventory. In Richmond Hill, we went from 0.8 into April up to 1.2 into May. And Markham went from 0.9 to 0.6 months of inventory. That's just over 2 weeks of inventory for townhome properties into Markham. And in Vaughan, we went from 1.1 down to 0.8 months of inventory. So if you're looking for a townhome property in these geographic locations, get ready for the bidding war. So one number we have to pay special attention to is the year-over-year price trends. For detached properties in Toronto back of May 2022, an average detached property was trading for $1.91 million. Now, into May 2023, like I shared with you, is now $1.91 million. It is completely the same now, not a price up or down. That's an important number to pay attention to. Detached properties in New York region back in May 2022, we were hovering around $1.67 million. Pay attention to this. Now, May 2023, average detached property in New York region is now trading for $1.73 million. That is up. That's right, we are up 3.6% for an average detached property in York region, despite the many rate hikes from the Bank of Canada. Anyways, I hope you found these numbers and these stats useful. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to give me a call, send me a text, shoot me over a DM or an email. As always, brave Canada one. Take care.